What's up? Alright boys, we're back on Skyblock, and I haven't played it that much. I've been playing some Valorant, you know. The farming update came out, but I just didn't feel like grinding, you know. The farming update, you have to build all these farms, and I was just bored of grinding all day trying to do stuff when you get barely nothing. But anyways, what matters most is we're back and Floor 7 has came out. Now, before I start, I'm just going to go over a couple of tips and tricks that's going to make Floor 7 a lot quicker and easier. So, starting off with what classes you're going to want to actually do the dungeon, and it's going to make it a lot easier if you get a full team of no dupes. Each class now actually plays a different role, unlike just 5 mages. So Archer, you can do a lot of DPS and stun the boss in stage 3. Tank, obviously, you got it, tanking. Healer, keeping everyone else alive. Mage, clearing rooms, and Berserker for tanking and doing DPS. Now, the next tip is going to be grabbing yourself a wither pet. This is actually super effective for all classes, besides if you're a tank or like have a baby yeti. Now, this wither skeleton, not only does it cost less, but it allows you to take 25% less damage from skeletons, which is going to be super effective and when you're in a room full of skeletons, or wither skeletons. I'm not sure if it works with them. And then the other abilities deal 50% more damage to wither mobs, and with it, this even works with mage weapons. So if you're wondering, it does. Also, Bez, it also works. So I just recommend getting a wither pet, especially for mage. And then lastly, the last ability that's gonna do that wither effect, but it's not going to work for a right click mage, but left click, archer, and bez, it all works. Now next we're going to go over some cheese strats, and that's going to be spirit boots. You can activate the spirit boots right before you head into blood, and it's going to allow you to be able to fly and grab the crystals almost immediately, and that's going to save you at least like 5 minutes of wasting your time on parkour. Now, lastly, we're going to have a splashing rabbit pot. Now, before you couldn't actually get 2 pots, but now with I wouldn't say it's just kind of a glitch where instead of using just 1 dungeon pot, you can grab a rabbit pot, and once you throw your rabbit pot midair, of course this is a splash pot, then you want to start drinking your dungeon's pot. This is going to allow you for your rabbit to splash down, splash you with rabbit, and then drink your dungeon's pot right after that. That may have been confusing, so basically throw your rabbit pot up. Once it's midair, you want to start drinking your dungeon's pot. Then the rabbit will splash, you finish drinking, and you'll get both effects. This is going to allow you to go way faster and jump over those skeleton masters, crypt dreadlords, and it's going to help you not die and just be better, I guess. Alright, now I'm just going to be talking about what's the minimum cata requirement you have to be, and since this is a mage guide, RCM versus LCM, and then the builds to match your budget and what you're doing. Let's start off with the minimum cata requirement. You're going to have to be at least cata 25, because this is when the buffs, that 8%, 10% increase to your dungeon items is going to be like super effective, and without a high cata level to at least cata 25, your armor's not going to be that tanky, and your sword or mage weapon isn't going to be that effective. Now, this is also when your parties are going to be way better, and I'm cata 26, and I can consistently beat Floor 7 with a full no-dupe party. Now, let's go over RCM versus LCM. Now, this has been widely debated, but for me, RCM's better, but I'm just going to quickly go over pros and cons. Now, RCM is going to be a lot more effective since it does do area damage, and there's just like so many mobs, especially on the boss, that this is going to be way more effective since mage is literally the only area besides like archer or something. LCM is more single target, a bunch of damage, which archer already does, which is why I don't think it's that good. Another pro about RCM is it's way more tanky, at least 50% more tanky than LCM. And in 4-7, when you're just getting so much damage taken, RCM is definitely going to be better. Now, lastly, LCM is actually going to be cheaper at the start. If you just want to be an LCM and you have like 50 mil, 25 mil, LCM's the way to go. But if you have at least 100 mil, I'd say, then RCM's just going to be better, and you'll be able to beat 4-7 much quicker. Now, if you have like 2 bill coins, which only Aiken soft, or if you want to spend your entire life savings, then go for it. Then you want to go LCM, because like E-Drag, I mean, it's just too expensive, for me at least. Now let's go over the sets. Starting with RCM, you're going to want to start off with, of course, your Meta staff. It doesn't have to be 100 mil, but the higher the better, of course. This is literally required, and if you can't get this, either go back to floor 6 or 5 and go to LCM. Now, this Meta staff, once you have this, you might be broke, and if you are broke, you're definitely going to want to go to 4th Necromancer, since this is really tanky, and when Necrotic gives you a bunch of intelligence also. Make sure they're 5-starred, because that's just going to make it a lot easier. Chestplate, you can either go Young Dragon Chestplate 5-starred or the Zombie Soldier. It's actually better than it looks. Now for your helmet, you just want to go with another Necromancer helmet, and 5-starred. You can put Giant, you will be lacking a little bit of intelligence, but if you just want to stay alive in floor 7, you might as well put it. Giant Reforge is going to help, and let me warn you guys before you recombob your set, don't do that unless you have, or unless you get a good deal, which I got on all of these, so just in case. Now you don't, this is a big mistake that a lot of people make. Once you have this gear, you might want to get yourself a Necrom chestplate, and I've seen a lot of people do this, but no, you actually want to go for a Precursor's Eye. Not only is this going to give you more EHP, but it's also going to give you more intel. As you can see, this Precursor's Eye gives me 1.8k HP, 800 defense, and 600 intelligence, and compared to a Necrom chestplate, it's actually better by a lot. And the increase from a Necrom helmet and a Precursor's Eye is going to be a lot better. And I'm not even talking about the price. This is like 10 to 15 mil cheaper than a Necrom chestplate. So after that, you get this helmet, then I suggest going for a Necrom chestplate. This is where we get to the end, and I recommend going, of course, for the sheep pet, because that's the only RCM pet you have. Now, once you get there, you can either go with some Wither Lord boots and leggings. Actually, don't switch out the Precursor's Eye, because it's better unless you need the money. But Wither is going to be better, of course, because it gives that 10% less damage from Wither mobs. And you can get Storm Armor. It's currently like 15 mil per piece for just the boots, which I wouldn't say is the best. And it just gives them really good raw intelligence. Now, its EHP is going to suck really bad, which is why you have to put the Giant Reforge, but it's going to be a little bit better. If you don't want to spend the money, just get Wither Armor, like, honestly. Couple things, since I did do some more research and got some new unoutdated armor. So first of all, Wither Armor, I mean, it's good and all. It's a great budget set. It gives it's literally Necrom, but it gives 10% decrease from damage from Wither mobs, which is good. But I kind of underrated the Storm Armor. Now, Storm Armor, it does not give you that much tankiness, but its intelligence is just crazy. So if you get 2 Force Necrotic Storm Leggings, it's going to give you like 2.4k mana for both of them, and then your chestplate and your Precursor's Eye is just going to be there for tankiness. Again, put Giant on your Precursor's Eye if you're not that high cata level. Now this is good for people that are cata like me and don't have that great of buffs. It's good and all, but it's not like cata 30 or whatever. So having this whole set is going to give you a bunch more intelligence and a bunch more tankiness, and I've ended up with 13k HP, around 9k mana, and 3.3k defense. So I can easily do 4/7s without dying. Well, I might die a couple times actually, but this is probably one of the best sets, especially if you're lower cata. Now, if you're super high cata like Egom or anybody 30 plus, then you can go 3/4 storm armor. You're gonna have to be super rich because to get a storm chestplate, it's gonna be like 120 mil. But that's basically a meta staff, so you should be fine. And then comboed with the new helmet, the wither goggles, which is going to give you a lot of intel and a lot of damage to wither, just undead mobs. So you're not only going to be taking less damage from withers, but dealing like 70% more damage to undead mobs, making you both good and regular and boss. Now with this 3/4 Nick Storm and your helmet, you're gonna have a crap ton of intelligence, but again, this only works if you are high cata, because you're gonna be really untinky at low cata levels. But yeah, I just wanted to clear some stuff up, and yeah. Now let's switch to our LCM. Now for LCM, it's going to be really hard to tank. I'm just going to tell you that. You can stay at a distance and kind of left click, but for boss, it's just going to be way harder, especially if you're lower cata. Now the two pets you can use are the sheep pet and the E-drag pet, because these both give you intelligence. And E-drag is just honestly insane for LCM. But that's of course if you have 500 mil, which I'm guessing most of you don't have. I'm sorry if I offended my viewers. Now, your armor, you're gonna want full SA, because this is like the least you can do to maybe beat 4/5. You're honestly so untanky. I'm sorry, but yeah, you basically have your sheep pet or whatever, and you just want full SA. Anything less than that, you're obviously gonna get one tapped, and it's gonna be pretty hard. Of course, hot potato books and full necrotic, or you could put a giant on a couple of your pieces, or one. Full necrotic is going to allow your LCM to do the max amount of damage, and your talisman should be reforged to shaded or forceful. Also for LCM or RCM, you can reforge these to either defense or just strange, I meant bizarre, where it just gives you intel. Now back to LCM. Once you have your full SA that's pretty much 5-starred and maxed out, you can then switch over to the Storm Armor. Storm Armor only gives way more intelligence and HP. You just want to put Ancient, which is the new best. It's basically Fierce but 2 times better. And you want to put Ancient on this. It's decently cheap, and paired with the Storm Armor. And you can always put in a couple Storm Armor and a couple of your SA, and it's going to be super effective since Storm gives a bunch of mana. And if I can just show you guys here, it's going to give you guys a bunch of mana while still giving you guys a decent amount of HP and defense. It's not the best, but it's better than SA. Again, this is probably the best armor, so you're just going to want to max it out, Reek and Bob 5-star, or buy it already because it's going to be cheaper. But yeah, that's basically my guide on the armors you want. If you have a certain amount of budget, just let me know in the comments and I'll tell you the best set for the price. Alright, once you enter boss room, you're going to notice a bunch of wither skeletons. Basically, you just want to kill them all with your meta staff while still moving around so you don't get destroyed. Next, energy crystal that's up there that I just mage beamed. Now, once you grab the crystals from up there, you're just going to want to place it on the pedestals to the right and left. Here, we're about to get both of them. That guy just parkoured up, grabbed it, put it on the right, and once both energy crystals are active, this is going to allow that yellow beam in the middle to turn red, damage Necron, stun him, while you and your archer friend does a bunch of damage to Necron. This is also going to do a little damage to him, but once he's stunned, you just want to pummel him. Now you lure him over to the laser, and once he hits it, which he should right about now, once he hits it, you're just gonna want to go over and hit him. Make sure your archer is doing this, because without hitting him enough in the first couple stages, then it's gonna be hard the last stage. Now here's where it gets a little harder. You just want to keep moving around, or you're gonna die by all the floating skulls. And as a mage, you just want to clear the middle area and just like kill all the necromancers. Now there's gonna be 4 SAs around, and you just want to kill those, and it'll give you access to that yellow or purple or whatever pressure plate. You want to step on that, and it's either gonna move the pillar up or down. If you hit him with the pillar, he's gonna be stunned, and basically your archer and everyone else is just gonna kill him and do some damage. Once you've hit him with all 4 or 3 pillars, he's gonna make a hole in the red place, which I missed here, but just want to enter that, and you'll enter the 3rd stage, I think. Now here's where it's kind of like Among Us, and you have to do all the tasks. Your archer's gonna stay back and stun the boss with his boomerangs. You can lava jump, parkour around to get to the different tasks, but there's multiple tasks that you have to do, with all are pretty self-explanatory. Now after you've done all 7 tasks on the first floor, there's going to be 3 other kind of floors of tasks that you're going to have to do. And once you're done with all of these, Necron's going to bring you yet through another wall. Kind of rude. And you just want to pummel him here. He does a lot of damage, so beware, especially as a mage. You kind of want to sit back, because your healer, tank, and archer's just going to do all the damage and stay alive. But anyways, that's about it. You just want to kill him. If you leave him too long, he's going to destroy all the floors on the ground, and that's about it. But yeah, that's just how you want to beat it. Floor 7.